red stripe. Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Band shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The bush and the bambi did that the champion boy fan. Now man I don't a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy.
Red Stripe Football Mondays, the Waterhouse fans are here, Tivoli's travelling fans and the famous pot cover man supporting the Waterhouse team, the home team. It's a cool night in St. Andrew, the Drewsland Stadium, the venue tonight for Red Stripe Football Mondays. Two former champions, Waterhouse, twice champions, Tivoli Gardens, 5-time champions, and they are ready for a big match tonight. A victory for Tivoli tonight will put them top of the table. A victory for Waterhouse will move them from 9th to 6th place. So a lot at stake, George, in the match tonight.
Yeah, Waterhouse need to get back to winning ways. Tivoli Gardens have been a bit in and out, but they'll be satisfied with where they are in the table at this stage after some very good wins. And I keep going back to that win over Portmore at the Spanish Town Prison Oval. Not many teams go there and get 3 points. Tivoli did. Yeah,
Tivoli, a pretty strong team. Their form has been a little fluctuating so far this season. Let's look at some of the results that we had since the last Red Stripe Football Mondays. Match day 9 had a lot of goals, George.
Yeah.
Arnett 3-1 over Dunbeholden to top it.
Yeah, midweek action. The UWI also, they went to Montego Bay and came away with a 3-1 win. Waterhouse held down to Portmore. They shared 4 goals here at Drewsland. Harbourview got a rare win, 1-0 over Cavalier. Mount Pleasant squeezed by Reno. And then Humble Lion, they went to Tivoli Gardens. Perhaps the most impressive result of the Roundlands, 3-1 over Tivoli Gardens. And then match day 10, not many goals. The goals were used up in the previous round. 1-0 Arnett Gardens over Mount Pleasant. Nothing between Cavalier and the Humble Land. Nothing between Reno and Harbourview. Portmore 1-0 over Mobile United, and then the UWI 1-0 over Dunbeholden, leaving the table looking like this, Lance.
Yeah, Portmore, the defending champions, who were regular season champions by a massive 15 points last year. They're out front, but only just by 1 point over 3 teams breathing down their necks. UWI, Arnett Gardens, Mount Pleasant, and look at Tivoli. They're in 5th spot, but only 2 points off the lead. And as I said, with a win tonight, Tivoli will become the new leaders.
Yeah, if this were a horse race, Lance, every jockey from 1 to 8 would believe they had a winning chance from here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Problems for Harbourview and Dunbeholden, bottom of the table, and looking to find themselves in real problems. But the Waterhouse team are on a 5-game winless streak. They're looking for a good result tonight, and they're in front of their home fans, which I guess should be something good for them. They have not lost a match at home so far this season, and they need to put their attacking game on today with confidence and take charge early.
Yeah, look, they've been giving up some easy goals, which is atypical for Waterhouse defenses in recent months. To be fair, they need to fix the leaky problem at the back, and they need to ensure that they give these fans something to cheer about, because when these fans are behind them, it's almost as if the opposition is playing against 13 players.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Now, Tivoli Gardens, the travelling team here, they've done fairly well on the road so far this season, winning 3 of their 4 home games, so they are not threatened so far this season by being away from their ground, and they'll be coming to the Waterhouse ground tonight looking to show their attacking form. They haven't been that proficient in attack so far this season, but they usually are when they're on song.
Yeah, they want to push the Waterhouse defenders back, push the Waterhouse team back. They have to ensure that they take the crowd out of this game early. Look, Tivoli know what a hostile atmosphere is because they play one at the Edward Seaga Sports Complex, and they know what to do if they want to silence a partisan crowd. It's going to be a partisan crowd in here tonight. Tivoli have to take the advantage from the word go.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we also know that whenever these two teams battle with Tivoli and Waterhouse, we usually have fairly intense football. We want to make the point that although Waterhouse are on a 5-game winless streak, we could argue, George, that their form may not be that bad given their most recent results. 2-2 with 2 top-line teams. Portmore, the leaders, 2-2 with Portmore, and 1-1 with Arnett Gardens, who are 2 of the front runners at the moment.
Yeah, that shows a kind of resilience that bodes well for the rest of the season. Remember, Waterhouse came into the new campaign with people believing that they wouldn't have much up front, and what they showed in those 2 last games was that they have enough up front to hold on to 2 of the teams who should be fighting for the title at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a package of goals here at the Drewsland Stadium for Monday Night Football. Let's get it.
Ball crossed inside, and
Edwards there with the take.
Whistle. Penalty.
Penalty. First goal of the season, and it's in.
That's Gervon Brown, the former UWI man.
Waterhouse lineup is pretty different to the one Cavaliers saw last year when they met them. Good corner swinging to the near post. Moulton does really well. Paris with a strike. What a goal! Kahim Paris strikes his first goal of the season. The former detail man lights up the scene for Cavalier in Red Stripe Football Mondays.
Paris on the edge of the 18-yard box once again, Lance. That's from where he retreated a few strides to sweep that one in.
Oh, the head. Oh, and in the back of the net again. This time, Jamoy Topi. His first of the season. And the two 18-year-olds have Cavalier in front by 2-0 midway the first half. Now here's where Waterhouse began their comeback. Cavalier idling with the ball. Rankin puts a harmless ball back to goalkeeper White. He miscontrols the ball. It's into the back of the net. And Waterhouse are now given a lifeline. Brown turns expertly, sets the ball back. Oh, what a brilliant strike! Stephen Williams brings Waterhouse level at 2-2.
The chest trap by Howell, and from the outside of the left foot, Stephen Williams. This is how he just tees it off to him, and low and hard, almost like a toe punt, Lance. There were 3 goals scored in 5 games on Sunday, which suggests there will be no goals tonight. But I feel like Monday Night Football, the lights, what we saw just now in that goals package we ran, Monday night goals here at Jerusalem, I think that trend will hold, and the trend from the weekend will go away to sleep.
I think I agree with you, George. The fact is that Monday Night Football at the Jerusalem Stadium here has been very kind to us with action and goals. And based on the intensity of these two teams, I would suggest that we're going to get goals tonight, and they're strong kickers in both teams, especially if you look at the Tivoli lineup with McGregor and company.
Yeah, there's a man in our EVS truck, Jermaine Williams. He's the EVS supervisor. He says there will be goals. So if there are no goals, he's buying lunch for the whole truck this week.
Our producer says that sounds very good. This is the home of champions, Sports Max. Lots of exciting action coming up this week for you on the channel. NBA action Thursday night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. Golden State Warriors, the defending champions, up against James Harden's Houston Rockets.
Yeah, rematch of the Western Conference Finals last year. And then the Clippers and the Spurs lock horns on Sports Max Thursday, 10:30 p.m., 11:30 p.m. ECT. The action is live.
Yeah, we're just about 12 minutes away from match time. The kickoff, Red Stripe Football Mondays. It's Waterhouse at home to Tivoli Gardens. The crowd building up here. The fans getting excited, and they'll have their appetite satisfied in a few minutes from now. Back at the Jerusalem complex, and it's a pretty cool night here. There was a lot of rain earlier on. We were going to play on a wet surface, but based on the prognostications, there isn't expected to be any more rain tonight. Pretty humid, but it's a wet outfield tonight, and the players will have to contend with those conditions. Waterhouse at home tonight. They're looking for a third Premier League title this season, having won 2 before. No titles though since 2006, so 12 years without a title. Waterhouse having in their setup now a very, very experienced player who played in Trinidad and Tobago for Northeast Stars, Keith Simpson, a high-quality holding midfielder, has a lot of skill, has a lot of experience. Maybe he hasn't given his best form so far this season, but he's a quality player.
Yeah, the thing is this, he's not a player that people will cite as their favorite player. surface. And certainly, he's not someone who people who don't understand the football will rate Keith Simpson. But he is a coach's dream because he organizes in midfield. He defends very well. He is a leader. And if you want the opposition attacks, their midfield to be broken up, those attacks to be broken up, and for the midfield flair players on the opposition side to be shackled, he's the man, Keith Simpson. Speaking of flair, Kemar Daly brings the flair in spades to Waterhouse. Waterhouse have lost a lot of that with Cardell Benbow and Bushy Beckford gone and the likes of Romario Williams gone. Kemar Daly is that creative spark.
Yeah, we have Kemar Daly, Tivoli, Harbourview and UWI before now. And they're looking for a lot from him tonight, this Waterhouse midfielder. Let's get the news from the Waterhouse camp.
Any encounter between us and Tivoli does always be a high-intensity game. But the team have been working very hard the entire week, so we just have to come out tonight and execute.
In terms of the particular approach, Tivoli scores wherever they go, it would seem. They had a big result away to Portmore on the last occasion. Are you overly concerned about the form that your opponents are coming into this game in?
Yes, definitely. At this level, we'll always have to analyze and study the next opponent. So we are up to the task, we are well prepared, so we just have to deal with it.
Are you getting enough from the players up front? That always seems to be the case. From midfield, especially in creative midfield and in the forward ranks. Do you think you're getting enough from those players, enough output?
At this moment, to be honest, as a coach, we need to improve in that area. We have been getting the chances, over we're just failing to capitalize. But this week the training was very good in terms of our finishing and from the midfield to the attacking line, so we just have to come out tonight and execute.
The grapevine says that you've been recruiting in recent times, that you have additions in your squad. Care to share with us the new faces in the Waterhouse squad?
No, the squad is basically the same. We're bringing in experienced Kemar, so I guess he will give us that fine-tune in the midfield.
You mean Kemar Daly, the former Tivoli Gardens player?
Definitely.
Tivoli Gardens, founded in 1970, five-time Premier League champions, but they haven't won any titles in several years, 7 to be exact, and they are among the most successful teams in the history of Red Stripe Premier League football, with some young, exciting players in their roster.
Yep, speaking of young, exciting players, none more so than Junior McGregor. He is an expert from dead ball situations. He is a very fine dribbler as well, a player who always goes forward, always takes on his defenders, and if he has a good game, usually Tivoli get 3 points wherever they go.
Yeah, Junior McGregor scores some very outstanding goals from the dead ball, and Colorado Murray now, this is their leading scorer so far this year. He's already struck 3 goals so far this season. Actually scored twice last year, late in the game, to beat Waterhouse in this corresponding matchup. So he will have memories of that for sure.
Yes, he will have memories of that for sure. Lance, he's a good player, but I think sometimes he's a little bit too selfish, Colorado Murray, and that has affected his performance in games. He doesn't normally dovetail well with his strike partner.
Kevin Wisdom from the Tivoli camp. Let's hear him now.
Kevin, Tivoli come into this game in good form. How have preparations gone for this game?
Well, we have prepared well for this game, and we plan to come out tonight and play some good football and get a positive result.
Waterhouse are usually a tough team at home. How much have you planned to counter the home support and the lift that Waterhouse will get, especially in the opening 20 minutes of this game?
Well, it's always tough to play in this stadium, right? And we are mentally prepared to counter the crowd support, right? So hopefully we start pretty well so that we can get the noise level down.
Jermaine Teddy Johnson advertised in an interview recently that he should be back round about now. Is he in the squad? Is he starting? How are you going to use him tonight if available?
He's in the squad for tonight, right? So we'll see how the game go, whether I will be involved.
Newton Sterling came over from Arnett Gardens. Perhaps has not seen as much playing time as some people felt he would. Is he in the squad? Are you planning to call on him tonight?
Well, he's in the squad tonight, but he was suffering from an injury, and you weren't seeing him in prior games to now.
Fit and ready now?
yes, he is fit and ready for tonight.
In terms of your ambitions for the the first round is almost over and you're highly placed in the table. How do you look back at this round? Are you satisfied with the work that Tivoli has done? Are you satisfied with where you are in the table?
Yes, we can't be too satisfied with the work because it's a long season and we will have to continue to work as hard as possible. We are close to the top and we cannot rest on our laurels because other teams will we're going to play hard as possible to get above us, and we want to maintain a good form right throughout the season.
So Red Stripe Football Mondays tonight coming from Jerusalem, and it's Waterhouse, the home team, preparing to battle the might of Tivoli Gardens. The kickoff in less than 5 minutes. We'll be back.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run him marathon boy. The Red Stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah, yo.
So look at the excitement that we're about to see unfold in front of us tonight. Waterhouse currently 9th in the championship. Tivoli Gardens, the traveling team here. And as we said, 7 championship titles between them. Diego Horton, outstanding goalkeeper for Waterhouse. In a shirt there in memory of his mom, who died 2 years ago today. So the Waterhouse fraternity and this Waterhouse team falling behind their outstanding goalkeeper in tribute to the memory of his late mom. The fans anticipating a tremendous battle tonight. Last season when these two teams met, there was one Tivoli victory, one Waterhouse victory, and one drawn result. The corresponding fixture here tonight, also a November meeting last year between them. Tivoli coming from behind with 2 late goals from Colorado Murray to beat Waterhouse by 2 goals to 1. And Murray is on the starting roster tonight for Tivoli Gardens. Cardella Samuels, the FIFA referee, has the whistle tonight, and she leads the officials out. And the teams are about to follow, and there's excitement and anticipation in the air as Tivoli and Waterhouse get ready to battle for valuable points.
Yeah, I've been studying this Tivoli Gardens squad, Lance. It is a top squad. It is a squad almost at full strength. You'd have to say it's at full strength now with Jermaine Teddy Johnson back. And I look in the starting 11, Lance, and I see names that I haven't seen in a while. Tevin Shaw is fit and back. Marvin Stewart. Those two patrol the midfield and give nothing away. Very, very good holding midfielders both are. Teddy Johnson on the bench. This Tivoli Gardens, Lance, side is as close to full strength as you can get.
Yeah, so what we were saying at the top of the show, George, that if you're looking at the team roster, then you've got to fancy Tivoli tonight, who, based on their form on the road this season, are showing no fear for home teams. 3 of their 4 road matches ended in victories for Tivoli so far. Here's the Jamaican national anthem. Yes, so the formalities behind just the teams and the handshakes with the match officials. Cardella Samuels, a FIFA referee, with the whistle tonight. And there's the Waterhouse captain, Keith Simpson, leading the meeting of the match officials.
Lance, the Waterhouse bench is good. Stephen Williams, only good enough for a starting for our bench place tonight. And then look at Carlos Wright, Lance. They're arguably their most impressive player over the last 2 months of the last season under Donovan Duke's stewardship. He's back in the fold, starts on the bench tonight, not too long before we see him in the starting 11.
Yeah, I think the same thing happened last year where he wasn't so much into the early season play, but got a lot of playing time later on and contributed to a tremendous Waterhouse late season effort when they won, I think, 9 of their last 10 games in the regular season and propelled themselves into the playoffs. Cardella Samuels has as her assistants tonight Richard Washington and Melvin Reed, with Leon Brown as the 4th official. Here's how the Waterhouse team will line up tonight. Diego Horton in goal, Keith Simpson captain, the experienced 32-year-old Nicholy Finlayson, Duar, Miller, Thomas, Daly, McFarlane, Howell, Rafiq Thomas, Tremaine Stewart. Missing for Waterhouse tonight, Gervin Brown. Yeah, they line up in a 4-4-2 Waterhouse. Tremaine Stewart and Rafiq Thomas will play in the forward positions. Thomas will be furthest forward. Tremaine Stewart will perhaps drift out to the right wing position, and Howell, Simpson, Daly among the midfielders for Waterhouse. Yeah, very strong Tivoli starting roster here tonight, and they have some very good players coming off the bench as well. Look at Andre Moulton, who was their leading scorer last year. Jermaine Johnson, who is the most established player in their setup. Newton Sterling has proved himself at this level as well, and they're on the bench, all of them. Yeah, Teddy Johnson finding himself working himself back to full fitness. 4-4-2 is what Tivoli Gardens will set out in. Colorado Murray will be furthest forward. Andre Dawson doesn't play well with his back to goal, so don't expect to see him joining Murray in a traditional or an orthodox 2 up front. He'll drop off to play in the number 10 role behind Murray, and then Stuart Shaw, Williamson and company across the midfield, providing that shield for the defence for Tivoli. Yeah, so Waterhouse, the home team, 9th in the table at the moment with their 10 points. A win for them tonight will take them into 6th position. Tivoli, on the other hand, 5th in the table on 16 points at the moment, just 2 points off the lead, and will go top of the table with a victory tonight. They've been good on the road so far this year, Tivoli, winning 3 of their 4 away games, including wins over current top 2 Portmore and UWI. Actually gathering more points on the road than they've gathered at home, Tivoli. So these Waterhouse men will hold no terrors for Tivoli tonight. Not at all. The Tivoli team comes here. A lot to prove as well. The squad is coming back together. So there is some chemistry. Look, there are some returning players, Lance, who weren't a part of some early successes for Tivoli, who will have to bed into the system that Omar Edwards is implementing at the West Kingston club. Yeah. Tivoli Gardens, there's Rodico Wellington. Did have an early season injury, but he's back in business now, and this Tivoli starting roster looks a pretty strong one under the guidance of their central defender, Barrington Price. The impressive Kamara Sifrit in defence, Lance, one of the best defenders in the league in my book. And then that man, Junior McGregor, is capable of magical things from dead ball situations. Tremaine Stewart, not too shabby himself. He's the heartbeat of this Waterhouse team. A lot will be expected of him on the offensive front. Yeah, Waterhouse in their light blue and yellow with a kickoff. Rafiq Thomas standing over the ball, former Harbourview and Boys Town player. He's already had 1 goal so far this year for his new team, Waterhouse. We're in possession right side. Giving up a throw pretty early. Very wet conditions, George. The field having a lot of rain dumped on it throughout the afternoon. Pretty lazy dribble there by McGregor, straight into the man losing the ball. Daly, very good passer of the ball. Has been hugely successful. Played on a championship winning Tivoli team, I think, back in 2011, didn't he? Yes, he did. and also spent some time at Harbourview and UWI.
Yes, he did.
Marcel Gale, new coach of Waterhouse this season, having come from UWI.
Several players on these two teams, Lance. It would be fair to describe them as well-traveled, including Andre Dawson, who we saw, 2 seasons ago in the colours of Jamalco.
Yeah.
And saw him for Boys Town before that.
And he also spent some time at Cavalier as well.
Spent some time at Cavalier, and now he's at Tivoli.
Yeah. Well, Tivoli forcing a corner, the first of the match. Let's see what will happen here. Left-footed to the near post. Wow, cleared off the line. There's an appeal from the Tivoli players. Not too sure what the appeal is about. That was a pretty close call early.
Wow. Looks as if Tevin Shawlands stole in at the near post and steered that one goalwards. And it was a tremendous goal line clearance.
Yeah. Ball over the touchline for a throw here to Waterhouse. So, an early dodge of a bullet there by Waterhouse.
This is what happened. Yeah, it was Tevin Shaw and Mark Miller on the line. Did he use his arm?
Yes, it seems so.
Wow.
That looks like a handball.
Beg your pardon, it was Ricardo Thomas,
Yeah.
the left back.
Omar Edwards, the man in charge of Tivoli Gardens.
A difficult one for the officials to spot, Lance.
Yeah. Yeah, but on the replay it does seem as if it struck the right arm. So that was what the Tivoli appeal was about.
Not that the appeal was vociferous. Wasn't particularly strong.
No,
Not many of the players saw it.
I think I just saw maybe 1 or 2 hands going up.
And even Tevin Shaw, who struck, who kicked the ball goalwards, he appealed, but almost as if he was asking, "Ref, did you see that?" Rather than, yes, it was a handball.
Yeah. There's Seafright. As you said, George, a very, very solid and stout defender at central defence for Tivoli so far this season.
Recall when we saw Waterhouse at Arnett Gardens recently, and they were chasing the game. Seafright was almost playing as a midfielder, trying to drag his team back into the contest. Good player all around on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he showed on that night that his skills weren't just limited to defending and tackling, but also starting attacking plays. Shaw goes wide. Tivoli's form this season has been a bit fluctuating. They lost last 5 matches, a loss, a win, a draw, a win and a loss. McGregor's quick pass forward. Tivoli at the advance to the near post.
Oh, what a poor effort from Colorado Murray. The pass was on, but he didn't make good connection.
Stewart, good skill in midfield. His pass has a little bit too much weight on it. Pretty much a rhythm player, this Tremaine Stewart. George, sometimes when you watch him play, you can almost predict the kind of night he has if he gets going early and starts enjoying himself.
Correct you are, Lance. He's not a player who will work himself into the game. He has to start well to continue well and to finish well. If he starts awful, you know he's going to have a bad game.
Watkins with the kick out there for Tivoli. Miller gets in there. Daly goes up for the header, but not successful. McGregor wins a throw.
You know, I've seen Rodico Wellington, Lance, for Marvelly Hewenden, and I think his best role is how Tivoli are deploying him. More defensive as he crosses this. Yeah, Marvelly used him in an attacking position.
Yes.
I don't think that's his strength. Very strong from the dead ball situations, very strong on both feet. A good kicker left or right. But I think where Tivoli deploy him in the defense, on the right side, that's where his best is at.
Oh, Thomas was very athletic there, did very well because the ball was going to escape for a throw. Here's Daly, Slides the ball forward. Thomas gets close to it. The cross inside. Miller. Simpson. High with the effort.
Tremendous from Ricardo Thomas just now. Instigated the play with the athleticism to keep the ball in play. Then slid Dada Daly in, who then sent him into the box. First time cross, and none of the Waterhouse front-running players gambled with that one. Should have been busting a gut to get across the 6-yard box to get something on that. Yeah. Nothing was wrong with the cross from Thomas, Lance. It was the runs forward that was lacking.
Yeah, it would have been fairly obvious that he would have whipped the ball across goal. So someone needed to get there. Daly with the exquisite pass forward. McFarlane tumbles over from the Seabright challenge. Begs referee Samuels. No go from Cardella.
Correct call from the referee.
Rafik Thomas under pressure. Wins a free kick, takes quickly. Shaw wins the ball in midfield. Finlayson being fought for the ball by, well, there's a player down hurt now. That's Marvin Stewart, it seems, and a yellow card for Finlayson.
Yeah, most of the yellow cards Nicholy Finlayson gets, Lance, for aggression.
But it did look retaliatory though, because he was being tough. Wow.
But that's reckless.
Yeah,
and that's the point.
Yeah.
So this is Andre McFarlane versus Seabright. Checks in onto his left foot, and Seabright does nothing, Lance.
Yeah, he just challenges for the ball, and I think there was some contact there, but the contact looked to have been initiated by McFarlane. Confirmation of Finlayson's yellow card. I think he lost his temper there just now, George, because he was being hounded and held on to from behind before he actually executed that reckless challenge. So I think for the moment he was a little hot-blooded.
Correct you are. Andre Dawson was grabbing him. He robbed Dawson of the ball, was dribbling forward, was being held, and then he just lost it. And the leg into the midriff of Marvin Stewart, and I can tell you from experience, those are painful.
Yeah, looks anxiously on to the referee Cardella Samuels. He knows he would have been in trouble and problems here for Nicholy Finlayson. You don't want to see your central defender getting a yellow card in the opening 10 minutes of the game.
That is true.
Lots of fans here.
Wow, that's a trap king, Lance. I'll tell you off here what the trap king is.
Well, part of the garment there looks designed for cold weather.
Which is why I said trap king.
Yeah, but he does look scantily dressed at the same time. The shot on goal, well, it's over the top.
It's about fashion, Lance.
Okay.
We're next to nothing, but the something you wear is to protect from the cold.
Wow. Pretty confusing, but let's go with the football now. See, right?
Of the two teams so far, Lance, in the 10th minute, Waterhouse have settled better, and their playmaker has been pulling the strings already. That's Kemar Daly, whereas 47 for Waterhouse.
Yeah, that's for sure. The only part of the opening 10 minutes that Tivoli looked good, I would say, was the first minute.
Yeah.
When they had an appeal for a penalty for a handball on the line. Here's Daly. Looking set to have an influential game tonight for Waterhouse. Offside. Against his former club, of course. Kemar Daly played on the championship-winning Tivoli team back in 2011. That was such a long time ago. We've seen him since then represent Harborview and UWI.
It's such a tremendous asset, Lance, when a central defender has the ability to play long passes out of defense. It's an extra weapon for a team. And Seabright seems to have that about him, Kemar Seabright, in the Tivoli defense.
And I note your choice of words, George. Long passes out of defence. Passes as opposed to just a clearance.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a difference.
Oh, yes.
Tivoli trying to get their passing game going. Certainly in this passage of play, they've been looking quite good. Not quite Manchester City.
Don't go there, boy. Please. You know I'm a man of passes, so there was a lot to admire about that passing game on Sunday, and there's a lot to admire about Sivrite's passing out of defence.
Yes. Thomas. Oh, good first time knocking there by Waterhouse. And I think Thomas is in trouble here for the late challenge.
Yes, he is.
I think Samuels. Well, she's taken out the yellow card. And maybe a closer look on that replay now would probably tell us if the yellow card is
stretching for it. Oh, that's reckless.
Very reckless. I think that's bordering on red.
Yes, it is. And the thing is, Lance, he's off the ground. Both feet are off the ground. And the question you ask the players when they commit those falls, what were you trying to do with the ball? Because you're off the air, you're off the ground, you're lunging forward.
Yeah.
So even if you get the ball, you won't be able to control it. So what are you intending to do if not hurt the player?
Yeah, so 2 yellow cards already in this match after 12 minutes. And Wellington, who I said suffered an injury, I think it was at the Arnott Gardens game tonight. And he was substituted earlier on this season in an early season game. Here's Price with a free kick for Tivoli. I think he has dodged a bullet here because he could have been a lot more badly hurt on that play. Looks as if he'll be okay. Here he's challenging for the ball. Challenging Tremaine Stewart. There he's at Wellington.
I think the introduction of Cameron Dadadele into this Waterhouse team takes some of the creative pressure off Tremaine Stewart, Lance, because of a lot of what he was burdened to do by himself. Daly will now be expected to do it.
Again, Thomas does well in keeping the ball in. McFarlane plays well with his back to the goal. McFarlane. Thomas with a good pass. Can McFarlane get a good cross in? That was Price standing firm, the Tivoli Gardens captain. Short pass there by Stewart, giving the ball away, but Tivoli now on the counter-attack. Murray looking for Dawson inside, but the ball is badly hit and doesn't get to him. Daly, beautiful first touch. Wellington. Dawson. McGregor. The cross inside has some force to it from Murray, but not accurate enough. Daly. McGregor. Delightful skill from McGregor. And Finlayson gives up a corner.
Yeah, Colorado Murray just now lands breaking forward for Tivoli. Was looking for Dawson, who was being marked by 2 central defenders, when it was that Junior McGregor was in a pocket of space by himself between the lines, between the defensive line and the midfield line, begging for it, did not come. Murray has to be more intelligent.
Second corner here forced by Tivoli Gardens. Again to the near post. Almost identical to the first corner. The fans here buzzing. Waterhouse fans among the most difficult to please in domestic football here in Jamaica. If they're playing badly, this team, their fans will let them know. Thomas. Overhit
so far, Lance, almost all of Waterhouse's attacks have come down the Tivoli right-hand side. So they're attacking through their left back, Ricardo Thomas, who's linking up well with Kimara Daly so far.
Dawson. McGregor. Good skill by McGregor. McGregor still finishing with a vital challenge in the end.
Yeah, right into a wall known as Nicholy.
Shaw. Challenged well there by Stewart, who does good defensive work. This Waterhouse team looking very committed tonight. Stewart goes wide. Thomas gives the ball away. McGregor. Oh, poor kick by McGregor.
Yeah, Dawson was waiting on it just inside the 18-yard box. Just bad connection by Julian McGregor. We have the ingredients for a good game here, Lance. The playing surface, you spoke about the water that it has taken, but for the kind of soil that's on this pitch, Lance, the water is good.
No indications from the players that they're having trouble with the underfoot conditions. Good ball forward here to Dawson. The cross inside. Right-footed effort under a lot of pressure there, Murray. Knocked off the ball.
Good covering by Mark Miller. It was an excellent early curling pass from Andre Dawson into the path of Murray. But Miller read the danger and ran with him all the way.
Oh, Howell doing extremely good work here. Through the middle, McFarlane just overhit, but Thomas retrieves it. Daly makes a run near post. Bounced off the ball by Shaw. The fans appeal. Daly went down just a little bit too easily there.
Yeah, was waiting for the contact, any contact, and he would have tumbled. He got some contact and he went for a roll, hoping that Carla Samuels would give him a penalty.
She's already given 5 penalties in the 8 matches she has done so far, so maybe Daly knows those stats. McGregor. Thomas equal to the task.
Excellent. What helped Thomas there, though, Lance, was that as soon as McGregor went into his step-over routine, the ball bounced in a bad patch on the pitch and bobbled. This is Daly, and yeah, that's not a penalty.
A bit of a shove in the back, but it's a contact sport, and the fact is he went down too easily. The referees don't like to see that. Howell, good skill. Mark Miller, good cross. Just out of the reach there of Pete Thomas.
Good shape on it. Thomas not on the point to collect. Here's a veteran, Lance.
Just approaching midway the first half here. A lot of energy in this match so far. Miller. Howell. Usually a good crosser of the ball, Miller. Murray now for Tivoli. Trying to slam the pass through.
Got hurt there. Stewart playing that ball forward to Andre Dawson. May have taken a shot to the nose.
Samuels just goes across. There's
sorry.
Just studying the game here. As we mentioned, he's seen his team display fluctuating form so far this season. A heavy 3-1 loss to Humberland in their last outing. They're just a week after getting by Portmore by 1 goal to 0. Portmore, the current leaders. Waterhouse enjoying more ball possession after 20 minutes. Powell. Tremaine Stewart. Wow, the second touch wasn't as good as it needed to be. Showing too much of the ball and lost it.
Well, the second touch shouldn't have been a dribble, it should have been a pass to Andre McFarlane, who was to his right in space.
Murray. Swirling cross inside. Oh, the shot on goal, left footed. Sure if that was a shot or a pass, but Dawson tried to get to it and didn't.
That would have been some goal, lads. Superb cross. Look at it. Bending all the time into his path. It was a cross, Lance, and Dawson didn't read it.
Yeah. Good swirling cross there from Colorado. Murray. Stewart just side-footing the ball across goal. Dawson unable to get to it.
That's a lack of a striker's instinct. I know a few strikers in this league would have loved for that to be coming in their direction. Dawson really a winger who has been deployed in a central striking position tonight by Tivoli.
Tivoli on the high press at the moment, trying to force Waterhouse into defensive errors. But they've worked themselves out of that zone, and now Miller tries to get by Evans and doesn't. Both tumble over the ball, both have to recover. I guess Miller reacts quickest, or quicker of the two. Some fun there for the fans. Miller, 4. Waterhouse men in the box looking for the cross. Steve Wright. Wow, fortuitously the ball comes back to Steve Wright. Wow, that was a kick in frustration. I don't think he was getting the movement that he wanted.
Nolan, what he was trying to do was to bend up with the outside of his boot into the path of Junior McGregor, who was way over on the right, which is why he apologized to him immediately. He just caught that wrong.
Miller. Simpson. Daly. Rafiq Thomas. Ricardo Thomas. Oh, they've given the ball away. And McGregor for Tivoli. Pass miscued. Searching for Dawson. Now Simpson has it. Daly in midfield. Raymond Williamson cutting the pass off. Word expression there.
Yeah.
Not sure which team she would be supporting.
Wondering if she turned off the top of the kitchen. Because it can't be about the football.
Kenward Howell just failing to keep that one in. Howell in the 2015-2016 season was Waterhouse's leading goal scorer with 10 strikes, and then went across to El Salvador to play in the league there. He's now back.
He's a player who doesn't get involved enough for me. He's a fine dribbler, Lance, as we've seen from time to time. When he picks up the ball and runs, smooth, goes past players easily, but he doesn't demand the ball enough to make those runs enough. So he flits in and out of games.
Yeah, doesn't involve himself as much as he needs to more heavily impact this Waterhouse team, and the skill and dribbling touches that you spoke of would obviously be the reasons why he would have been recruited by the El Salvador League. Gary McIntosh to the Waterhouse roster. Not in this current setup. Thomas. McFarlane. Good headed pass to Daly. Oh, Daly does well here. Aggressive challenge from Price, the Tivoli captain.
Got all ball.
Seabright doesn't get any distance on the attempted headed clearance. McFarlane tries to turn between men. Howell, still Howell. Oh, Howell still crashes into his man. Howell still wants it. He had an option there of being off balance and all to leave that one for Kimar Daly. But I guess he had done so much work in setting himself up, he wanted to complete the job.
Yep.
Howell gives the ball away this time. And there's Dawson now going away for Tivoli. Gives the ball away.
Disappointing passages of play involving Andre Dawson. The pass just now was poor, and then the decision to shoot from there, poorer still.
Ricardo Thomas, the speedy left full back for Waterhouse. Played 2 seasons ago for Marvel Hughenden.
Tivoli better be careful. Waterhouse are making too easy progress in central position. The passing among Tremaine Stewart, Howell, Andre McFarlane and Dada Daly. It's only a matter of time before they get it right. They're knocking at the door, Waterhouse.
Miller. Teasing cross inside. Touched out there by Watkins. Does really well to hold it well second time.
Yeah, I thought he was fouled there by Tremaine Stewart. Referee agrees. Well, that actually was Rafiq Thomas. This is the Mark Miller cross with the wrong foot. Vital interception by Davin Watkins. And then, yeah, he was fouled by Rafiq Thomas.
So the goals as we're approaching the half-hour mark. Match day 10 hasn't been by any means prolific with scoring. We're anticipating that that will change here in this fixture. So far, nothing to shout about. Daly. Stewart a little nonchalant there. Good pass forward. Stewart's pass to Howell, not accepted. Falling under pressure. Loses the ball there to Raymond Williamson. So pretty bright start by both these teams, but still the last 5 or 10 minutes the quality of the game declining a bit. Watkins. Tivoli goalkeeper sprays wide here to Wellington.
Waterhouse playing better though. Tivoli have been having difficulties in the past few minutes finding Puppy Dog McGregor. And that inability to find him has dampened Tivoli as an attacking force, dampened that attacking thrust from them.
Excellent skill there from Kenroy Howell. Howell, here comes Rafiq Thomas. Brilliant save by Watkins.
But there was a foul in the build-up to that I'm sure Cardella Samuels will go back to, because Howell was a victim of a clothesline from the defender. Blatant. This is Nicholy Finlayson's pass. Look at this turn. Dead. Gone forward now, Howell. Chasing him. Goes around and look at that body check from Barrington Price. Knew exactly what he was doing. Just had the shoulder in his path.
Yeah. And that's the skill we spoke about from Howell. He made that look so easy. And what a strike from Rafiq Thomas. Watkins in the way with an alert save. So Rafiq Thomas spending the last couple of seasons at Boystown and Harbourview.
I can't believe Cardinal Samuels hasn't produced the yellow card for that. That was a crude foul from Barrington Price. Made no attempt to play the ball.
Yeah. He's gotten away with that one, it seems. Unless Cardella still has thoughts of pulling that yellow card out.
Nah, I think he's dodged it. This is it. Look at this. No attempt to play the ball, and you can see the movement to get the shoulder up.
And Price isn't a small man. Big, strong 25-year-old Barrington Price.
Cruiserweight size?
I would think so.
Yeah, he is, lads. He is.
I would think so. That's how it would probably be a super middleweight.
Oh, yes. Barely making that weight, too.
So, 12 and a half minutes of time remaining in this first frame.
Tivoli, bigger part of Waterhouse lands continue to look dangerous when they run at this Tivoli back line.
Wellington does well. Murray. Dawson. Too close to Ricardo Thomas.
Yeah,
his good speed serves him well there.
He's played too straight. Needed to have bent that into the path of the overlapper, Marvin Stewart.
Diego Horton on performance, one of the best goalkeepers in the 2017-2018 campaign last year when Waterhouse were runners-up, beaten on penalties in the final by Portmore. Hugh Evans with a left-footed corner kick. Low, not too good. Rafiq Thomas under pressure. Wow, gets away from his man. 2 against 3 at the moment. Simpson. Seabright's clearance doesn't get any mileage. Howell, under pressure, commits a foul. Free kick to Tivoli.
Just wondering, Tremaine Stewart's first touch just now. I would try to have passed that ball first time with that first touch. But he wanted to take a touch to get around the challenge and then do more. Didn't have that time.
I've seen some fairly stout defending so far from this Waterhouse team. They've been defending with a lot of energy. Pete Thomas tries to turn Seabright, who shows a lot of commitment
and a lot of pace.
Yeah. Whistle. The referee is awarding a free kick to Tivoli Gardens, deep inside their own half.
Even when Seabright was on the bench, when Brackenridge was in the Tivoli ranks, Lance, the young defender who's gone to Portmore United, I used to wonder how he couldn't get a game. Now with Brackenridge gone, he's undoubtedly first call alongside Barrington Price at the heart of the Tivoli defence.
Yeah, very, very solid player for sure. There goes Dawson. Gets by his man, doesn't have too much support on the front end. Gets some now from Colorado Murray, but look at the challenge from Ricardo Thomas.
Yeah, that's raw pace. That's what you call recovery tackling at its best. A fullback can get beaten on the turn, But the question is, do you have the pace after the forward player runs by you to get back? Ricardo Thomas is concerned. The answer is yes. His speed bailing him out there.
Player with a lot of pace here at the left defensive flank for Waterhouse. Often seen in a lot of their attacking moves as well. Waterhouse again defending. Referee's whistle. Good work anyhow from Moulton.
Thomas still shaken up from the tackle, and he's down on his haunches inside the Waterhouse box.
Yeah, he really gives all, doesn't he, former Marvel Hughenden player.
To me, looks to have put on some weight from last season, Lance. This is the tackle again on Colorado Murray, and the forearm may have just caught him across the side of the head. And yeah, it looks like he'll be fine. Yeah, that's a look on his face as if, yeah, he just needs a moment.
Yeah, he's really given a lot. He's given a lot.
I was saying to you that he looks a little bit heavier to me compared to last year, where he lost some challenges last year, and you could tell it's because he was a bit lightweight. Seems to have worked on that over the summer.
Very, very perceptive there, George, because he still looks pretty slim.
Well, he is still pretty slim, but I'm just saying, doesn't he look a little bit more resilient to you?
Yes, maybe you're right.
Perhaps that's why he got a national call, Lance. Look, look, there's a bolt of a bicep emerging on that right arm, which wasn't there last season. So the boy is bulking up.
Yeah, he's a quality player, no question about it. And you have to admire his energy and the kind of work rate that he puts into his game.
The fault I had with him last year was that his use of the ball in attacking positions after he overlapped and took a pass wasn't the best, but at this stage, at his position, which is a very difficult position to play, learning all the time, and he's certainly one for the future. Already a good player, he can be even better.
Moulton with a kick out, certainly one of the most impressive goalkeepers in Premier League football at the moment. 2 seasons ago, Kadeem Davis, we were very impressed with him. He spent a year last year at Waterhouse and had trouble dislodging this man, Diego Horton, in the goal.
Yeah, couldn't dislodge him.
Yeah, which tells you how good Horton is, because Kadeem is a solid goalkeeper. Howell.
Well, you know I'm an Amal Knight fan, but Diego Horton, what makes him good in this league, Lance, is his anticipation.
Yeah.
One of the best at knowing when to come, and even better sometimes than when to come, what to do when you come. Do you catch? Do you punch? Do you flap?
Yeah, pretty solid. Those are some of the intangibles of a goalkeeper that count very, very heavily into your overall quality as a man in the sticks. Simpson hurts his left knee.
Both sets of defensive midfielders struggling so far in this first half, in my view. More so the Tivoli duo of Stewart, well, not Stewart, of Tevin Shaw in the center of that midfield. And Marvin Stewart, yes. Keith Simpson having a little bit better time of it.
Murray under pressure. Wow, good exchange of passes there. Howell fouled again, but the play continues. Here's Tremaine Stewart. A strike from McFarlane, and again Watkins is there in goal for Tivoli.
Yeah, positioning excellent again, David Watkins. This is a brave header from Howell, overpriced. Look at Tremaine Stewart, threatens to shoot, slides McFarlane in, and Watkins is positioning excellent, and then his head crashes into the shin pad, it would seem, of McFarlane. He needs treatment.
Yeah. For a brief moment there, the space opened up for Tremaine Stewart to probably strike and goal, but he didn't go for the shot. Instead, just slid the ball forward. And maybe Marcel Gale has similar thoughts, that Tremaine could have gone for the strike.
Golden here, lads. There it is, our own Goldilocks, Jamaica's version.
Probably a Waterhouse fan because there's no gold in the Tivoli outfit, is there?
There are 5 gold medals around their necks though. Champion boys.
That's right.
Of the past.
Kids and the Tivoli goal. Not good. We're in the final 4 minutes of the first half.
The game started well, but as you've noted, it's just gotten a little bit more docile as halftime draws near. Maybe it will take the introduction of the wily Teddy Johnson from the benchlands to really give us something and to give this game something.
He has match-winning moments, doesn't he? Now 38 years old, battling injuries. Miller. Seabright goes up for the header. Referee Cartelli Samuels offers a whistle favouring Tivoli Gardens.
It was a good call from her. Clear foul. Jumping into the back of the player, leading with the forearm. Yeah.
Has already made some appearances on the FIFA World platform, Cartelli Samuels. Women's Under-17 World Cup, Women's Under-20 World Cup. Price with a long kick forward. Keith Simpson successful with a header. Daly. Seabright knocks Stewart off. Evans wins a throw for Tivoli.
Doing some coaching.
Yeah. Heavily involved here in this Tivoli team. Has been a part of the community pretty much all his football life.
Yes, he has
represented Tivoli Gardens in the Manning Cup competition.
Yes, sir.
Spent a lot of time in England for several teams, including Bolton Wanderers, Sheffield Wednesday, Oldham Athletic, Bradford City. There he is. Also played in the USL Pro League for Indy 11. And there's Newton Sterling. It's his birthday today. 34 years old today, Newton Sterling, coming off an injury, hoping to get some playing time.
Yeah. Big man mending.
Oh, delightful pass in by Tremaine Stewart. McGregor now starting the counter-attacking play for Tivoli Gardens. Dawson runs into problems, but wins a throw, I think.
Tactically, Waterhouse doing well in this game. Started out attacking a lot down their left. Now they've switched their attacks to their right-hand side, giving Tivoli problems in both directions.
Good headed pass by Price to Wellington. Stewart wins the ball but doesn't keep it.
Jude McGregor has switched to the left-hand side of attack for Tivoli, and he's disappeared effectively from the game.
Yeah. I think played more often last year down that left side, so you would think that he may be more comfortable there, but he did have a lot more time on the ball when he was playing right-sided.
Yep.
Rafiq Thomas trying to squeeze his way through. Handball, I think. Free kick to Waterhouse.
I think that was deliberate. Knew what he was doing. Raymond Williamson. And look at that. Yeah, he knew what he was doing, lads.
He wanted to abort the Waterhouse attack. 2 minutes added on for stoppages. And Waterhouse have a free kick in a pretty advantageous looking position. Wonder who will strike this. There's some good dead ball kickers in this roster.
Stewart looks to me to be exerting some leadership in this moment.
Of course, he was wearing the captain's armband last year, Tremaine Stewart.
And playing terribly with it. They took it off him. He looked like a player reborn.
So it's going to be Stewart then, George. You were right with a strike. Seven goals last year for Waterhouse in his first season with the blue and yellow. Tremaine Stewart straight into the wall. Deflection. And an easy take from Watkins in the end. So less than a minute to play. The Stewart effort not very good. Straight into a compact looking Tivoli wall. Scored 4 goals each year back-to-back for Portmore, did Tremaine Stewart, 2015, 2016 and 2016, 2017. And then first year with Waterhouse, 7 goals.
To me, never looked happy at Portmore. Certainly has looked happy at Waterhouse in front of a tough crowd most times when he plays at home.
Murray does well here. Wellington. Finlayson with a header out. Rafik Thomas. McFarlane loses out from the McGregor challenge. Oh, but the referee favors McFarlane on the play and gives Waterhouse a free kick.
Correct call.
The 2 minutes added on for stoppages now expired, so referee Samuels, I'm pretty certain within moments will blow this one up, which he does now. So no goals here in the first half, George, between Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens.
A first half which promised much over the first 15 minutes, Lance, but ultimately delivered nothing. A bit disappointing the way the half kind of petered out. You expected more after the bright opening from both teams.
Yeah, so Tivoli in conference, there's Tremaine Stewart, and a real attritional battle at the moment here between these two teams. Kamar Dana Daly back in business now in Red Stripe Premier League football. Red Stripe Football Mondays tonight coming from Druseland, and at half-time we've seen no goals. The home team Waterhouse in a 0-0 battle with Tivoli Gardens. Back after the break with our highlights and our half-time features.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a sing anthem to. Red Stripe, watch out. Man shall I better forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run him marathon boy. The Red Stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.
It's been a pretty cool night at the Druseland Stadium here, although some of the action has been hot on the field. No goals after 45 minutes here between Waterhouse and Tivoli Gardens. But there were some moments here in this first half, George, especially in the opening minute when a handball apparently saved Waterhouse from going behind.
Yeah, the corner here, Tevin Shaw sweeps it on goal, and Ricardo Thomas cheekily knew his hand was what stopped it from going across the goal line. And the referee not sure, the Tivoli players not quite sure. Beautiful pass by Kamar Daly, plays Ricardo Thomas in. His pass not followed up by 3 Waterhouse players running forward. That would have been a disappointment. And then an excellent pass from Stewart, from Colorado Murray rather. Stewart's pass into the path of Andre Dawson, whose anticipation was good. This is Mark Miller, right-footed cross that David Watkins gets to before Rafik Thomas does. Another angle of that play, vital interception by the Tivoli Gardens goalkeeper from Miller's measured ball. And then this is Finlayson. Lovely turn by Howell. Gets away from 3 players. Barrington Price body checks him, it runs to Rafik Thomas. He must score, but David Watkins' positioning is good. And he effects the save with the right hand. That was a good save. Good attacking play from Waterhouse.
Yeah.
Colorado Murray losing out there. Howell on the run again. Brave header. Rafiq Thomas picks it up, looking for passing options. Tremaine Stewart fakes to go for the shot. Goes for McFarlane. McFarlane's shot tame in the end and straight at Watkins lands.
Yeah. Delightful chip pass through there. A lot of power on the shot. Just like the earlier effort from Rafiq Thomas, but not far enough from the goalkeeper. So although he was efficient in making the stops, the direction of the shots didn't give him that much concern. 4 shots attempted on goal by Waterhouse so far, 3 of them on target, 5 hit by Tivoli, just 1 on target, 14 fouls so far in this match, 9 of them by Tivoli Gardens players, a pair of yellow cards to Waterhouse, 4 corners forced by Tivoli Gardens, none yet for Waterhouse, who have more possession of the ball overall at 55%. So statistically, nothing much in the game at the moment, except to say that Waterhouse are having more time on the ball.
Yeah, and on the run of play, should be in front 1-0, and I'm sure their coach Marcel Gill will be frustrated that the good build-up that they had and the good offensive plays didn't result in a goal, Lance.
Yeah, the Waterhouse spotlight now. Houghton and Howell, look out for them. They're coming up.
Kenra Howell, Waterhouse FC. This is Spotlight.
This is Spotlight. Stand up for your stride.
So what's your favorite color?
Black.
Red.
What's your favorite food and why?
Chicken and rice and peas.
No ackee?
No ackee.
Oxtail, man. Oxtail and rice and peas. Pretty much every Jamaican favorite. So, pretty much bloodline.
Alright, who's your favorite footballer and why?
Yeah, say Cristiano Ronaldo.
Why?
Like failure and little excitement and everything.
Lionel Messi.
Why?
He makes the game look easy.
What is your best football skill?
I don't really have a best football skills. The type of position of me play is just like maybe diving.
I say body rock.
What's that?
Let's just rock into the left, going to the right.
What kind of movies do you like to watch and why?
Right, action movie.
I say comedy.
Who's your favorite actor or actress?
I'll give it to Jim Carrey or Marlon Wayans.
Tom Cruise.
You listen to music. What kind of music do you listen to?
Mostly listen to dancehall.
I pretty much listen to everything basically. It depends on the mood.
So you name 3 artists. Just beg you one song from any one of them.
Right now we are going to conquer the right now.
Watcha, watcha, watcha.
Thank you, Mama, for the 916.
Dancing, when you're in the club, what kind of old school dance or new school dance you like to see or do in the party?
Well, not much of a dancer, but a vibes person. So I just give a little body rock and just pretty much hype up the crowd, something like hey, and just move to the right, move to the left, stuff like that, you know.
I really fancy the dance move still, but me move and rock to the party, but can't manage the dancing thing again. Like.
Yeah, stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, man, simple rap, man. Yeah.
Are you brave enough to tell us the name of your first girlfriend?
Can't remember.
No.
No, I don't remember that at all.
I doubt I can remember.
Football memory as a fan, just watching. What's one memory that sticks out forever? Just watching football as a fan, something you remember forever.
As a fan, in Jamaica reached 98 World Cup.
Seeing Lionel Messi repeat what Maradona did, the handball.
Look in the camera and tell them why you deserve the RSPL spotlight.
Well, type of performance and hard work that I put in, I expect I did get it. Maybe goalkeeper of the year last year, but
What a save from Diego Houghton!
just have to go to the giant board, work hard again, come out here and do my best.
Always bring excitement to the field. So watch out for the speed, watch out for the goals, and watch out for the broke-ins. Jamaica know what that means. Broke, and all.
RSPL, Spotlight, stand up for your stride.
Kenra Howell, Waterhouse FC. This is Spotlight. I'm out.
This is Spotlight. I'm out. Kenroy Howell. Waterhouse, the home team, in the spotlight at half-time. 0-0 against visiting Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, schoolboy football on the channel. Cornwall College and St. George's College in the Champions Cup on Sportsmax 2. Live Friday, 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. ECT. Second semi-final, St. Elizabeth Technical against Jamaica College. Friday, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. ECT. Action also on Sportsmax 2 live. Yeah, so 0-0 between Waterhouse and Tivoli here at Jerusalem. The second half action comes up after these.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Man shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run him marathon boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo. Nah man I done a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy.
So it's half-time, first half that saw Waterhouse escape because there was a handball right on the line. We're at Jerusalem in St. Andrew, Jamaica. The Red Stripe Premier League, Red Stripe Football Mondays, and Waterhouse two-time champions are up against Tivoli Gardens, five-time champions. And Waterhouse beaten finalists last year after a tremendous late season performance engineered by their coach Donovan Ducky, who lifted them out of the relegation zone into the playoffs and then into the final, which they lost to Portmore by penalties. Tonight, no goals yet for Waterhouse, no goals for Tivoli either. Waterhouse on a 5-game winless streak, looking to break that tonight. We spoke earlier on about Tivoli Gardens being pretty strong on the road, winning 3 of their 4 matches, so they would hold no terrors here against the Waterhouse team, whose support is usually vociferous. But to Waterhouse's credit, they have played undefeated at home as well. They have not lost any of their home games, so they have a lot to go for them now.
Yeah, that's the Member of Parliament for Western St. Andrew, the constituency that this football stadium is in. That's Anthony Hilton, former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Industry and Commerce, drinking from, yeah, that bottle. Let's look at some controversial moments from the first half, Lance. The first one, the penalty shot for Tivoli early in the contest. This is the penalty taken left-footed. Tevin Shaw, excellent, steals in front of the defender, steers it goalwards, and that's a penalty all day, any day, but the referee didn't see it.
Yeah, and on the replay, at least 3 Tivoli defenders had their arms outstretched looking for the call.
Then McFarlane races into the box, checks in, Sivrite the tackler, he goes down, wants a call from the referee. She says Sivrite did nothing, and the replays confirm her to be right. No foul on that play.
Yeah, I think any contact there would have been initiated by McFarlane, who was trying to go for the ball.
And then Kamara Daly, the slightest of touches from Tevin Shaw, and he goes over. Dada Daly, a squat, strong man. It will take much more than that to make him tumble over. But he was inviting the challenge, waiting for the contact to go down. Asked Cardella Samuels for a penalty. She said, get up, young man, and continue playing.
Yeah. Samuels, a referee that has been very vigilant and very willing to put cards on the table. 2 yellow cards so far in this match, which lifts her yellow card tally so far this season to 26.
A tackle like that deserves a yellow card. Could it have been red? No, that's not a yellow card challenge. Now that red card challenge, that one is a red card challenge. Luckily for Ricardo Thomas, she was lenient. Has had a good game, Ricardo Thomas, so it's good for the game and for Waterhouse and for himself that he's remained on the field. But some referees would have sent him off for that, and on the replay, he shouldn't have complained if that was the card she produced, the red one.
Yeah, high tackle there with studs and so on. Luckily for Rodico Wellington, I think it was kind of riding the challenge, so it didn't really connect in a full-blooded manner, so he didn't get badly hurt. Andre Dawson, they call him Ball God.
Yes, they do.
Tivoli trying to work the ball out from the back. Hugh Evans gives the ball up. Quick passing now by Waterhouse. Daly. Stewart. Daly. Always touch there, a little bit too heavy. He gives the ball away, though a throw has been won by Waterhouse.
And perhaps we're not giving Tevin Shaw enough credit, Lance, because perhaps it is that Daly's fire went out in that first half because Shaw started to keep closer tabs on him.
Yeah.
Because he was basically left alone to run the game in the first 15-17 minutes, and run the game he did, Dada Daly. Looking at the Tivoli Gardens brains trust of Coach Omar Edwards and his trusty assistant.
Yeah. A good point there, because I think in a manner of speaking, Shaw has sacrificed his own creativity and offensive game for Tivoli to ensure that he nullifies Daly.
And even now, I'll tell you after that.
Howell. Shaw. Good skill. Stewart. Fancy back heel attempted by Dawson.
Fancy Hugh Dawson.
Miller shows good skill now for Waterhouse.
Look at Daly and look at where Tevin Shaw is in the middle of your screen. He's not leaving him, Lance.
Yes.
That's why he's not as influential as he once was.
Yeah.
I was about to make that point to you earlier, and it's still the case. He's shadowing him.
That's a key decision there for Tivoli, because they know Kimar Daly's quality and how much damage he can cause if he is allowed room and space to do what he wants. Shaw on him. He has enough room to play a comfortable pass out to Keith Simpson. And that's Dewar. Thomas fights hard to recover after his initial pass was blocked. Effort blocked again. No sign of any action coming from the Waterhouse bench yet.
Neither the Tivoli bench.
Waterhouse with a free kick on the left. Jermaine Stewart. He has quite a few light blue shirts in the box to aim for the moment. Now 5. Stewart's cross threatening to the corner flag or the penalty spot. And Waterhouse trying to keep the pressure on.
Good defensive header from Kamara Sivrat just now.
Wellington. Seafright with a challenge. McGregor under a lot of pressure. Seafright. They've gone back home with the ball. 5 minutes into the second half. Wellington. Stewart. Miller reads well. Goes for McFarlane on the front end. Seabright reads the pass well and the play well. Takes care of business on the back end, but gives up a throw close to the corner flag.
Yeah. Quick as well, Kamara Seabright. We've seen evidence of that a couple times. Wanted to play that ball out of defense rather than give away the cheap throw, and they ended up giving away a cheap throw.
Waterhouse playing tonight without their leading goal scorer, their current leading goal scorer, Gervin Brown. He has hamstring trouble. Colorado Marlies taking more chances on the far post and heading behind for a corner.
Yep.
Good to see him showing some defensive commitment. Daly's corner is a good one to the penalty spot. How bad effort was that? Finlayson coming up with a header there. Going over the top, and that was a testing corner coming from Martha Daly.
Mistimed by Nicholy Finlayson, who wins the header, not under that great amount of pressure. Really ought to have done better with that. And that's what that man is saying, Omar Edwards, that my defense, you allowed the centre half to win that ball unchallenged, dicing with danger. And now David Watkins is having a go at his defenders, Lance, and being told by Cardinal Samuels to get the game on the way.
Yeah. Tivoli. Trying to squeeze one here. Dawson shoved from behind, or grabbed it by the shoulder there. Referee Samuels awards a free kick to Tivoli.
Danger. Junior McGregor territory. That's a foul by Keith Simpson, which wasn't called. And then Dawson was fouled in the phase after that. But yeah, danger. Because you know who's lining this up, Lance.
Yeah, Junior McGregor. Solid kicker with the dead ball. Scored 7 goals last year. I think 6 of them were from free kicks.
Yeah.
He's up against a talented goalkeeper. He may not know how to dance, but he can certainly stop shots.
Oh, yes. And he says diving is his forte. He'll have to dive if he's going to save this one if it's on target.
McGregor. Deadly from the spot. McGregor! Just over the top. And I have to say that Houghton looked as if he had that covered as well.
Yeah, he did appear to have it covered.
Beats the wall, but beats the crossbar as well.
Yeah, we were talking about the substitutes earlier. Both teams now have men warming up.
Ball given away by Miller, Shaw, Seabright, Evans. Just wonder how much Waterhouse are missing Gervin Brown tonight. He's been so far their leading scorer with 3 goals in his debut season back in 2015-16 with UWI. When UWI made their debut, he scored 14 goals, bettered only by Owain Gordon, 19, and Dino Williams, 16, the 2 Montego Bay United men.
Well, the word from Waterhouse insiders is that he's ill, Gervin Brown. And that's why he hasn't been selected tonight. And the word
Although he was there warming up just before the game started.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was going to add. But the thing is, last time we saw him on Monday Night Football, he didn't look like the Gervin Brown of old. It was horrible on that night. Not his usual standard.
Was that the Cavalier match?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I've never seen him play as badly as he did that night. So maybe he's struggling with a bit of form. But he does have 3 goals already this season, Gervin Brown. And you get the feeling that Waterhouse are missing him tonight.
What is true is that the number of crosses into the box when he's around, that number has diminished significantly.
Tremaine Stewart with a foul there on Shaw, I think it was. There's a skillful. Howell gives the ball away. The ball won there by Williamson, who was fouled as he tried to motor through a wall of, or a cluster of Waterhouse players. Finlayson already on a yellow card.
It was Simpson.
It was Simpson with a shot. Williams Williamson crashing into Finlayson. Finlayson actually trying to get out of the way from the falling man. I think referee Samuels wants the kick retaken. So there were bets on, George, that there would be goals tonight. We're approaching the hour mark and no goals yet.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens for the remaining 35 minutes. Junior McGregor slides the ball forward. The ball headed on by Shaw, almost falling to Dawson, who may have been in an offside position anyhow. TFP wants to get the ball headed on. No, I think he may have been onside. I think Duar would have played him onside. Just a slight opportunity here for him to deflect the ball in goal.
Yeah. I told you that there were Tivoli substitutes warming up, but not Jermaine Johnson, who's still on the bench. That doesn't mean much though, because if he's to come in, he's going to come in.
On the mend from surgery, and I guess we'll need some time to get Matt sharp, but he's such an experienced player and exquisite ball handler. Oh, the back pass wayward, and Waterhouse giving up a corner kick. Wow, some tempers flaring now because I think Moulton reacted to a bit of a shove there from Dawson. And referee Samuels gets in to cool the tempers down.
They see the funny side.
Yeah, but all those situations always very dicey. Here's what happened because Dawson runs to challenge because Moulton wants to get the original ball back in. I think delaying because he wants his team to recover.
Yeah.
Dawson doesn't take kindly to it, and referee Samuels comes to calm things down. In the meantime, a corner is won here by Tivoli Gardens. We've now won 5 or 6 corners in this match so far. I think 6.
No lip reading necessary. Diego Horton just asking, "Where are you?" Meaning, what are you doing?
Ball out for a throw. Tivoli on the attack. Morris cross, overhit. And behind as well.
Yeah. I keep saying this, but I seem to be alone. At every level of football, I'm disappointed with the quality of crossing. And I find it difficult to understand how players who've been training to play the game, practicing since they were 9, 8 years old, in their 20s, in their 30s, can't cross the football accurately. It baffles me. At every level, in any league.
Yeah.
This is not an RSPL problem.
Rafik Thomas. He thought he was fouled by Seavright. Referee Samuels doesn't agree. Dawson tries to break free, but Finlayson puts the brakes on him. Wow, good intercepting header there by Tevin Shaw. Colorado Murray finds McGregor in room. Evans brought down with a late challenge from Mark Miller. Free kick to Tivoli in Junior McGregor territory.
Yeah, it's a challenge Miller had to make. Junior McGregor may have sold Evans a bit short on the pass, but he got there. Miller had to tackle. He was committed. And yeah, and that's a free kick. Lucky not to get a yellow card, Mark Miller.
McGregor, whose earlier free kick was disappointingly struck over the crossbar, he now has an opportunity to have a better go at it.
I think he's more potent though, Lance, when the ball is in a central position where he can curl to either side rather than where it's positioned now, almost as if it restricts his range.
still think he fancies himself from here, though.
Oh, yes, he does.
I've seen him score from free kicks from this angle. Only a two-man wall set up here. So an easier job for him to breach the wall. Gregor goes to the far post. Shaw goes up for the header. I think Finlayson got there first, did he?
Yes, he did. Excellent defending from Nicholy Finlayson. Read it and did what was necessary to take it out of harm's way.
Finlayson does really well here. The 32-year-old former Reno player went to Petersfield in his high school days.
Again, Finlayson's header.
He's like a stalwart tonight for Waterhouse. McFarlane didn't even get close to that pass. Seabright taking charge.
Yep.
We're on the hour mark.
He's been handling the Waterhouse forwards like his children, Kamara Seabright.
Yeah.
Telling them when to go to bed and when to turn off the lights.
Both teams have been defensively solid tonight. So McFarlane exits the game, George, and Stevie Williams gets a run in.
Yeah, quality player to introduce.
Big, strong player. May not have the depth touches that McFarlane does have, but certainly on pace and kicking power and a thrust going forward, he'll add a lot to Waterhouse's game. Challenge there on Stewart. Yellow card to Williams, I think, from referee Cardella Samuels.
Yeah, I wonder why she didn't play the advantage, though.
Yeah.
Clearly a foul. And I think she stopped it because Williamson was telling Tremaine Stewart to get up and remonstrating with him, and she's saying, wait, I thought there was only one referee on the pitch. That's me. What are you doing?
Raymond Williamson. Yellow card confirmed for him. Miller. We've seen Miller deliver picture-perfect crosses from plays like these in the past. Good one in. Oh, what a strike! And a save.
Finlayson again. Action man in the second half, Lance.
Yeah, for sure. He's already had one goal playing at central defense so far this season for Waterhouse. And caught this one really well. Luckily for goalkeeper Watkins, he was well positioned. And in the end, no danger to Tivoli. Wellington. Murray. Innocuous pass forward there. Wow, Evans gives the ball away. Williams. Seabright challenges. Now a battle between big men, Williams and Seabright. Williams unable to keep the ball in. Double teamed. And Tivoli taking care of the big substitute.
Good again from Kamara Seabright, who's been excellent. I mean, almost all he has done for Tivoli so far, the man on the ball.
The most influential players in the game so far tonight have been defenders.
Yeah, the two centre halves, especially. Ricardo Thomas had a rollicking first half for Waterhouse.
Tremendous, as usual, for Tivoli. There goes Murray. Keith Simpson trying to fend the attack off. Cross goes behind. Murray. And some discomfort there.
Now that with a change being made by Tivoli, Julian McGregor is coming out. And the Andre Moulton, number 23, comes in. Well, he's set to come in.
Yeah. Moulton, a little disappointing so far this season. No goals for him so far, though he was the leading goal scorer for Tivoli last year with 9 goals.
Yeah, we're hearing from our producer that Junior McGregor wasn't fully fit to start this game. And I think that was evident.
Yeah, Moulton in for him. Moulton needs to recapture his goal-scoring form of last year. As I said, when he struck 9 times. Oh, that was Miller with a left-footed effort. Connecting badly and the ball going almost for a throw.
Yeah, tried to hit it with the laces. Well, did hit it with the laces. It bent both ways. And there's Jermaine Johnson, not asked to limber up yet by Coach Omar Edwards. May not get a game this evening.
Pretty robust game this, and the Waterhouse players are pressing hard and tackling sharply. Will not be the type of game as it now stands that 50% match fit Jermaine Teddy Johnson would enjoy. But then who knows? He's got some magic in his boots. Tries to turn, unsuccessful. Miller now on the counter-attack. Waterhouse with a fast break down the right. What a challenge from Shaw. Brilliant. Seabright trying to go forward, losing it. Williams. Finlayson. Thomas in a tangle with the ball there. The referee's whistle has gone because the Tivoli defender has gone down injured.
Thomas has put 2 Tivoli defenders down on the turf. One of the smallest men on the pitch has Barrington Price down.
Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, shoulder into the face.
Yeah. And then Hugh Evans feels the heat of Rafiq Thomas as well. So, some enjoyment for the fans, even though there has been no goal excitement up to this point after 68 minutes almost. Jerome Waite, the Barnet Gardens coach, who has been away for the past couple of weeks with the national Reggae boys in the under-20s in CONCACAF. No Caribbean teams advancing in the CONCACAF finals. Jamaica playing undefeated, but unsuccessful because they were edged out for Group B honors by Mexico. Of course, Jerome Waite, one of the coaches of the Jamaica under-20s.
Imagine having a plus 21 goal difference and 13 points from 5 games and not advancing from the group.
Yeah, huge misfortune there for the Jamaicans, who played well throughout the tournament. Did draw 2-2 with Mexico in the top of the table. That's a match they needed to win, given the status of the group to advance. What's going through his mind?
Ask again what's going through his mind. Not that, Lance, it's a football.
Some great minds exchanging views. Marcel Gale, Waterhouse coach, and his central defender Nicholy Finlayson. Hugh Evans struggling there after being crashed into by Rafiq Thomas.
Yeah, she's on the Sportsmax app, Lance.
Yeah, we can see it from here.
She needs to get on the Sportsmax app, Lance. She has an Apple phone. She needs to go to the App Store.
Or the Google Play Store.
Well, it's Apple, Lance, so she goes to the App Store. You're an iPhone man, you know this.
I just saw the ping. I just saw the ping. I was looking at the phone itself.
I saw the apple water eating.
Duarte frantically gets the ball away from the threatening Dawson. Tivoli looking to breach the Waterhouse defense. Shaw. Howell.
Tivoli lining up another change. 22nd coming in. That's Tivoli and Garnett.
Very well-travelled player, Garnett. Comes through now for Tivoli Gardens. Did spend some time at Portsdown and also Jamalco. Scored a fabulous bicycle kick 2 seasons ago.
Oh yes,
at the Jamalco home game. In the Tivoli outfit. Wow, a late challenge. Play continues because the referee plays the advantage. Now the free kick to Waterhouse.
Wow, what a tackle from Marvin Stewart. It's a good thing Stephen Edwards was in the air already when he made contact. This is Edwards. Up. Yeah, that's what saved him. Wow. No yellow card, lads.
Daniel Sam is in a good mood tonight, George, because she usually doesn't hesitate to pull the cards out. Waterhouse with a threatening looking free kick and lots of light blue shirts in the box. Miller getting ready to deliver inside. Look at the face of intent. Waterhouse with the opportunity. Wow! Just sliding off the head of Finlayson.
Should have done better with that. That was excellent delivery. That's delivery from your best postman. Mark Miller drops it on the head of Nicholy Finlayson, who, although on the challenge from Steve Wright, ought to have at least put that one on target.
I think he had just enough room there to get a proper header on. See right though, right on the premises to make things uncomfortable for him. Cross to the far post. Howell doesn't get there in time. What a strike. Left footed. Another strike by Howell, blocked. Oh, third strike. This one pretty tame. And now Tivoli are on the counter attack. Toughest men down. And they won themselves a corner, have they?
Yeah. Lovely cross by Tremaine Stewart. Howell lets it drop. Donna Daly's shot blocked. Then Howell again.
All right, let's see what happens now for Waterhouse. 5 men in the box waiting for the Waterhouse opportunity. I think Finlayson is who gets the header, or was that Williamson? Another opportunity. Easy take by Watkins and goal for Tivoli. Quick counter attack.
Again, Waterhouse looked more likely.
Power on the header there, so Watkins had the easy take. Some fresh legs are on. Oh no. And I think he has a huge cut in his mouth. May require stitches, we were told. And that was from the collision he had with Rafiq Thomas.
Yeah.
Finlayson is having a boss of a game tonight.
Oh yes.
Miller. Thomas. Tremaine Stewart tries to work himself in, but Tivoli's tacklers are alert. Moulton. Dawson fouled.
No.
The referee no call.
I don't think that was a foul, Lance.
Oh, it wasn't?
I don't think so. The replay will confirm though. He got there first. The defender got none of the ball. And Dawson saying, well, you got a piece of my ankle. This is it. I think,
I thought he caught him. It's either that or Dawson's a tremendous actor.
Well, his foot touches the ground. Yeah, you know what? I think he may have gotten a piece. So your eyes are good.
Yeah, I thought he touched it.
Yeah.
Not pleased.
Waterhouse lining up another change. Number 37 coming out for the home side. That's Rafiq Thomas. And number 15, Andre Fletcher coming in, Lance.
So the youngster Fletcher is going to get some playing time now. Thomas exits. Fletcher in. Not the Grenadian West Indies opening batsman, but the Waterhouse youngster coming in to bolster the team. Andre Fletcher now in for Rafiq Thomas. Daly. Keaton Simpson. Knocked over by Shaw. Free kick to Waterhouse. A 5-game winless streak for Waterhouse. 13 minutes almost remaining in this game. And they're really struggling here to get a result, Waterhouse. Miller with the delivery, straight inside. Oh, what a brilliant goal! Nicholy Finlayson comes up trumps with a tremendous strike on the volley.
Was just about to mention how dangerous Waterhouse have looked all night from set pieces, how Mark Miller's deliveries have been spot on again. He found the man he was aiming for. Do not believe he was just kicking that into the mix. He knew who he was looking for, Nicholy Finlayson. Finlayson knew Mark Miller was looking for him, and he steered it to him. It was an expert touch, Lance. Deft touch by Nicholy Finlayson. Just wanted to get some connection on it and to close his foot on it. This was very well done. A striker would have been proud of that finish.
That's an absolutely top draw strike from Nicholy Finlayson. Great delivery in. Just turning the ball in past Watkins, who had no chance to react in time. Second goal of the season for the 32-year-old, and he's now the second leading scorer for the team after Gervin Brown playing a central defense.
Tremendous. If the score holds, there's no doubt who the man of the match is. He has been a beast on the defensive end, and he comes up with whatever kind of finish he came up with. It would bolster his stocks, but that was a finish of the highest quality from Nicholy Finlayson, a central defender, folks.
Waterhouse haven't won since their 4-0 victory over Harbour View about 6 weeks ago. And now they've set themselves up to break their 5-game winless streak with a really neat finish from Nicholy Finlayson. A man with vast experience in Premier League football, having played for Reno in Westmoreland before joining up with this Waterhouse outfit.
He must make the point too, Lance, that he's a former Jamaica international.
Yeah. So Waterhouse showing again that they're a tough team to contend with at home. Shaw. Murray, hounded by Miller. Marvin Stewart would cross in. Finlayson with the header out, but only partially getting the danger away. Ball played a bit short, foul. Well, the assistant referee's flag has gone up, and the referee has concurred with a challenge on Rodrigo Wellington being penalized.
Yeah, well, Newton Sterling is ready for Tivoli. Just went through a vigorous warm-up routine. As soon as the goal went in, he was summoned from the bench, and he'll be inserted anytime now as Tivoli chase a result.
There's the big man, Newton Sterling. Ready for some playing time.
They want to make the change before this free kick is taken.
His aerial presence, commanding.
The fourth official is signaling Cardella Samuels down, because I don't think she's seen him as yet. And she won't allow it. Oh yeah, the change is made.
Yeah, so the big man is on his 34th birthday. Can the night end in glory for him? He has gone to position himself where he can impose himself with his headers.
Tallest man on the pitch, Lance, sorry.
Yeah, 6 feet 5 inches tall. There's the ball right across the box and they head it down. Wow, the shot on goal. They must score. No, they haven't. Wow. The whistle had gone. Barrington Price trying to backheel the ball in, but referee Samuels had already blown her whistle.
There was an offside flag. Excellent header back. Dawson's effort blocked, and Price with the fancy flick, improvising. Couldn't really do anything else, Barrington Price. And blocked by Dewar.
Well, there was an injury to the goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, it wasn't an offside, it was actually a foul on the goalkeeper, is what the assistant flagged for.
Yeah. So Newton Sterling getting into the play, and immediately he positions himself well here. He sees exactly where the ball is, knows he can't score, so he just tries to head the ball down for Dawson.
You know, Lance, looking back on that, let me tell you what happened. It was an offside call. Sterling was offside. As soon as he made connection with the ball, the assistant's flag went up on the far side. And from there, other things happened. But the original call was for offside. Look at this again. Look at him ahead of the play. Yeah. Then the assistant waits until he touches it. Waits until he touches it. Flag up. Yeah.
Yeah. Handball. Stephen Williams trying to trick the...
That was clever.
Finlayson blocking the advance. Stewart. Whistle. Foul, I think, against Sterling.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the call from Cardella.
Stephen Williams is Lance. That attempted chest control with the hands. He wants a chest like Cottrell King. Another change being made. 13 coming out for Waterhouse. Ricardo Thomas. Good game from him as usual. Never less than a 7 out of 10, Lance, when we see him, Ricardo Thomas.
Yeah, he's all heart, isn't he? Strong game, and the fans appreciate the effort given by this 21-year-old.
You know what, Lance? He's one of the few players in Waterhouse colours who I never hear the crowd here get on his back. Number 16, Kimani Campbell comes in. Others like Tremaine Stewart only have to make one bad pass, and the crowd start giving him the treatment. But Ricardo Thomas, you never hear them get on him.
Yeah, a crowd favourite if there ever was one.
A smile worth a lot.
In gold. Less than 6 minutes. Normal time remaining. Waterhouse trying to snap a 5-game winless streak and are on course to achieving that. Tivoli would need some late game fireworks to prevent themselves from going to second defeat in a row.
Tivoli bench, Lance, urging the players to send it forward as quickly as possible.
Moulton. Oh, fouled by goalkeeper Horton.
Will he get away with this? That has to be a card. There was no need for Diego Horton to go chasing that one. A bit of a Hugo Lloris moment from him. Spurs goalkeeper in England.
Yeah, no need to challenge there. Corner. Or free kick to Tivoli. Numbers in the box for Tivoli. Oh, the header in! Fine header! Moulton, is it?
Yes, it is.
The substitute, leading goal scorer for Tivoli last year, gets his first of the season, 2018-2019. And Tivoli are back in business at Waterhouse.
Yeah, so this was expertly delivered from the free kick. Misses Tevin Shaw's head. And look at Moulton, unmarked. That's criminal defending. Nicholy Finlayson is on the premises, but didn't get to his man, didn't get close enough. That lands a difficult header to steer on target, especially after your teammate misses it. It messes up with your anticipation.
Yeah, because Horton was right there close to the near post and couldn't get a hand to it. Moulton opens his account for 2018-2019, and we were talking about his lack of scoring form this year, so far this season. And 4 minutes from the end, he brings Tivoli level, and the Waterhouse winless streak is in danger of continuing again.
And you can blame your goalkeeper for that, Waterhouse fans, because Diego Horton committed a foul he had no reason to commit. He shouldn't have gone for the ball, one, and if he ran and got there, he never had to foul the player. Yellow card for Sivright for the foul on Williams.
Tivoli showing a lot of character here tonight, because a lot of the play tonight has favored Waterhouse. Oh, look at the players converging on Stephen Williams. They know he's a strong player who can't be allowed to roam free, and Sivright taking one for the team. A yellow card. So, from a set play, which gave them the opening goal in the game, Waterhouse are trying now for a go-ahead goal. And Finlayson, the goal scorer for Waterhouse, is in the mix again, looking for another opportunity. The man who delivered the pass to him delivers again. Moulton chases for Tivoli. Oh, great skill. What a challenge. Strong one coming in there from the substitute, Kimani Campbell. Moulton shows good skill there to get by Daly. Can't get by young Campbell. Shaw's long kick forward, looking for Newton Sterling. Offside. Free kick to Waterhouse deep inside their own half.
We've seen two quality goals, Lance. Two real fine goals.
Yeah, we have. Sivright with the clearance upfield. Finlayson goes wide to Miller. Daly. Simpson. Miller. Sivright gets in the way. Duarte just ensures that the ball goes safely back to goalkeeper Horton. Daly. Simpson. Miller. Still Miller. To the far post.
Quality from Mark Miller. Just needed a more imposing forward at the back post.
Wow, problems here for goalkeeper Horton. Was in all sorts of contortions there. Price doesn't allow Miller to get to the ball, but gives up a throw. This is Fletcher with the throw to Williams, turns well. Simpson, still Simpson, blocked again by the hard tackling Seavright. Oh, Seavright has been tremendous tonight for Tivoli Gardens.
Yes, he has. Wish we could share the man of the match award sometimes, because he has done nothing wrong all night. He's been superb, Kemar Seavright. Has answered every question posed.
Yeah, top draw performance.
Yeah, but Finlayson has scored and has been the defensive rock, so he leads that particular race.
Sterling knocks the ball wide here. Garnett. Moulton goes up for the header and misses it. Fletcher's a long pass upfield, looking for Steve Williams, who's challenged successfully by Williams, who really is being well handled by Seavright tonight. Williams, a very strong, robust, hard-running kind of player, but his game has just been completely stifled by Seavright's efficiency in defense. Dwyer for Waterhouse. Gives the ball away. Wellington. Dawson. Knocked over by Dwyer. Dawson has been the recipient of some strong challenges tonight.
Yeah, he really has put in a good shift up front for Tivoli.
Yeah, 3 minutes added on for stoppages, and 2.5 of those already expired. So unless there some drama in the remaining half a minute, this looks to be another stalemate. And another Waterhouse draw. 5 in their last 6 matches. Wow, Murray goes for goal. On the turn. Seavright. Cheeky pass across to Marvin Stewart. Oh, his pass is cut out by Miller. Oh, and Miller gives the ball away. Wow, that looked like an error pass up. Tired legs. Dawson breaks into the box. A chance for Tivoli to win it late. The deflection. Wow. Behind. Corner.
Wow. Bad decision by Dawson. Sterling was hearing centrally to the 6-yard box, the penalty spot rather, and beyond. And Dawson just took long enough over it because he wanted to set up the shot for himself. And good defending to get that block in.
Well, this might be the last play of the match. Corner to the near post.
Just won the play.
There was a whistle before. And referee Cardella Samuels has seen enough. Tivoli Gardens battling from behind to earn a 1-1 draw. After Nicholy Finlayson gave the home team Waterhouse the lead, and Andre Moulton, the substitute, coming on for Tivoli in the 86th minute to strike to make it 1-1. So Waterhouse's winless streak continues. 6 games now without a victory. 5 drawn results in those 6 matches. And their coach Marcel Gale doesn't know where to turn next. Tivoli Gardens battling hard here for a point on the road. That's the full-time story. Waterhouse 1, Tivoli won. 2 goals in the last 12 minutes of the game. We'll be back after this break.
Me say one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Man shall I be the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Back down we run the marathon boy. The Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.
So that's the full-time story at the Jerusalem Stadium. Finlayson giving Waterhouse the advantage in the 78th minute. But then 8 minutes after that, Tivoli Gardens equalizing through Andre Moulton. A game that started out controversially here with a handball on the goal line by Ricardo Thomas, not spotted by referee Cardella Samuels. Some of the Tivoli players raising their arms in celebration. No call. Marvin Stewart with a cross inside. Dawson arrives late, doesn't get to turn the ball in. There he is sliding in, but arrives late. Waterhouse had their moment. The ball knocked across. Fine save there by Watkins, who denies Rafiq Thomas, who was there hearing in for the opportunity to score. Second half action now. Finlayson with a strike on goal. A lot of power from the Waterhouse captain, but Watkins holding on to the ball, clutching onto it for dear life. Good skill here by Tremaine Stewart. Shot by Daly. The rebound falls to Howell, whose shot is blocked as well. Finally, Tivoli getting the ball away. Just a quick look at that once more. Here's the go-ahead goal for Waterhouse. Delivered by Mark Miller, turned in expertly by the 32-year-old captain for Waterhouse, Nicholy Finlayson, steering the ball right-footed past Watkins. And Waterhouse are in front by 1-0 at this point, with 12 minutes remaining in the game. They thought they may have won it. There's a foul here on Moulton by the goalkeeper, Diego Houghton, giving up an unnecessary foul here 4 minutes before the finish. The cross inside, and Moulton himself with a header right inside the near post. Houghton was there but couldn't stop it. And that was the equalizing goal. Andre Moulton, leading goal scorer for Tivoli last year with 9 goals, opening his account, first goal of the season this year. And he salvages a draw on the road for Tivoli, who have done well on the road so far this season. 11 shots attempted on goal by Waterhouse, 7 of them on target. Fewer attempts on goal by Tivoli, 3 of those on target. 25 fouls in this match. 2 yellow cards for each team. 3 offside calls against Tivoli Gardens. 6 corners won by Tivoli, only 2 by Waterhouse, who had more time on the ball, 53%. 47% for Tivoli Gardens. So a hard-fought battle here at the Jerusalem Stadium, with Tivoli Gardens coming from behind to earn a 1-1 draw with Waterhouse. And our man of the match, not normal for a defender to get the man of the match award, but he defended like a stalwart tonight and also scored to boot. Nicholy Finlayson is with George Davis.
Thank you very much, Lance. So I'm here with our man of the match, Nicholy Finlayson. Nicholy, this trophy is yours, sir. Tell me about the game.
It was a very tough game for us today. We are in Tivoli, but we get the go-ahead goal and we deserve to win, and we just failed to hold our composure and come away with the 3 points tonight. And it was a game of both halves. We played tough and Tivoli played tough as well. It was a game of Diego's mother's birthday today, and we just do it for him. And we did want to come away with the win, but it didn't work today. But we just have to build on it and come forward next time. There have been several disappointing draws in recent weeks. You haven't been getting wins, but are you satisfied with the quality within the squad, and are you confident that this squad can go places this season? It's a road squad we're having, but we just have to get some wins in the box. We've been drawing and losing 2 games in the season. We have too much draws now, and we need some win and we need some points on the board. And the side is very rounded. Any player can play at any time. So we just have to build on this and move forward.
Congratulations, Nicholy. Well, on your Man of the Match award, better luck next time in terms of the result.
Thankful, I'm grateful for this award and performance up here. So we just have to build on this as a team and try to get some win in the box.
All right. Nicholy Finlayson there, our man of the match. Centre half for Waterhouse and the man who scored the opening goal. Walking into the shot now is Omar Edwards, the coach of the Tivoli team. Coach, your impressions of the 90 minutes, the result, the performance?
The performance by both teams tonight wasn't a bad one. I thought in the first half we gave up too much space in the middle of the pitch, and in the defensive third. You know, at halftime the coaching staff spoke to the entire back line that we were giving up too much space behind, you know, and in the second half we really corrected it. In the second half we moved from an high press game to a medium press game, which eventually nullified the threat of Waterhouse playing ball behind us. You know, and as a result of that, I thought we did pretty well. We gave up a goal from a dead ball, you know, where we failed to mark properly, and at the end we managed we took it out of the back of the net. In the end, we brought in some changes that work effectively for us. We have brought in Moulton, who scored a beautiful header, so to speak. But I believe overall it was a good game.
In terms of the second half performance, because we thought, just like you, that you were giving them too much space in the first half to play the ball over the top of your high press, and so to nullify that approach from you, they were getting in behind you. Coming into the second half, we noticed that Tevin Shaw was keeping closer attention on Kemara Daly. Did you ask him to do that job specifically?
Within a medium press game, Daly will not get a lot of space to play in our half, you know, and therefore he's not going to go deep in his half to play, maybe because of his condition. And hence that is the reason why we moved to a medium press game to nullify the attack of Waterhouse. And it worked pretty well for us, you know. We wanted to play on the count. Unfortunately, we conceded that goal because we were bringing in more changes that would have eventually do us a greater favour in terms of the attacking aspect of the game.
Finally, Newton Soyding came on for you late. He's still to get to full fitness. We noticed you didn't use Jermaine Teddy Johnson this evening.
Jermaine Teddy Johnson has been recovering pretty well. You know, we could have brought him on, but we said no, we're keeping him for the future.
Omar, all the best. Better luck next time.
Thanks as well.
Omar Edwards there, the coach of the Tivoli Gardens team. He took a point from the game. Akina Morgan, the assistant coach of the Waterhouse team. Coach, your impressions of the game and the result?
A mistake by the goalkeeper cost us 3 points, but at least we still came away with 1 point each. So, I mean, it's a tough one, but we just have to go back to the drawing board and work on it in this training session and go forward from that.
What were you pleased with about the performance?
I think we moved the ball well tonight, and the defense played very well. Apart from that mistake, the team played excellent. So, I mean, there's a positive. So in everything we have to look for the positive, even though we didn't get the 3 points, but at least we didn't lose the game by outplay. It just was a set play and it cost us the 3 points, but we just have to work on and go back again.
All right, Akina, thank you very much. Better luck next time.
Yeah, thanks.
Akina Morgan there, the assistant coach of the Waterhouse team. 1-1 between Waterhouse and the Tivoli. Waterhouse going ahead courtesy of a strike from Nicholy Finlayson, of which any striker would be proud. And then, of course, the equalizer coming from the substitute, Andre Moulton. So a game which disappointed up to half-time, Lance, but which caught fire in the second half. 1-1 a fair result?
I would think so. Credit to Tivoli and the resilience that they showed after going from behind, and credit to their defensive acumen. Steve Wright was tremendous tonight for Tivoli, and although the Waterhouse fans will feel disappointed that they weren't able to pull off the victory and break their 5-game winless streak, you have to hand it to Tivoli for the way they battled hard in this away fixture and earned themselves a point. I don't have a major problem with the draw.
Based on what both teams showed over the course of the 90, are both these teams, relative to what you've seen of the other teams that we've covered this season, are these two teams top 6 material?
I think so. To be honest with you, I think like both these teams, to me, based on what I'm seeing, are improving as they go on. I don't want people to look at Waterhouse's now 6-game winless record and think that they're a poor team, because in those 6 games that they haven't won, they have 5 drawn results. So they haven't really been losing. And I think they are a working progress with a new coach and a new set of players that to me will get better as the season goes on. I fancy these two as two teams that can get into the playoffs based on their quality.
But again, the criticism that can be leveled at most of the teams in the Premier League lands can be applied to both these teams. The lack of an outstanding centre forward.
Yeah, I thought Gerben Brown was missing tonight for the Waterhouse team, even though the last time we saw him, he didn't really play well. But he is a goal scorer. And the fact that he was missing tonight, I think that it was a hamstring situation for them, that they didn't have him. On the standpoint of Tivoli Gardens, they have some strong players on the bench. I heard Omar Edwards telling you just now that Teddy Johnson isn't quite ready yet. We know that he'll be better when they come in. But the fact is, Tivoli had an opportunity to go top of the table tonight. As it now stands, they move from 5th to 4th. As it now stands for Waterhouse, they move from 9th to 8th. So they're still off the lead.
All right, more football coming up on the Home of Champions. The Walker Cup final between Excelsior and Heidel is live on Sportsmax 2, Wednesday 4 p.m., 5 p.m. ECT. And then
on Thursday, the defending champions in the NBA battle the Houston Rockets. That's an 8 o'clock game, 9 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time on Sportsmax.
Another basketball game on Sportsmax Thursday, 10:30 p.m., 11:30 p.m. ECT. The LA Clippers against the San Antonio Spurs.
And on Friday, the Champions Cup. The semi-finals on Sportsmax 2, Cornwall College up against St. George's College. That's a 4:30 kickoff, 5:30 Eastern Caribbean time.
Then St. Elizabeth Technical against Jamaica College. Sportsmax 2, live Friday, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. ECT.
Yeah, and don't forget to join us next week, Monday night, the continuation of Red Stripe Football Mondays, when we'll be at Harbourview, where Arnett Gardens will be challenging and on the road looking for a result. Top team Arnett Gardens, Harbourview struggling, facing relegation at the moment, but looking to get a result at home.
Speaking of a result, our EVS supervisor, Jermaine Williams, he got off by the skin of his teeth. He did promise goals. We got 2 goals, so he doesn't have to buy lunch for the entire crew for the rest of the week.
Yeah, and they waited in the last 12 minutes to get the 2 goals. But we have to say that we had agreed with him that we didn't expect a goalless game tonight. But a hard-fought battle here at the Jerusalem Stadium. Waterhouse and Arnett and Tivoli Gardens battling to a 1-1 draw here after Waterhouse had gone ahead from a Nicholy Finlayson strike. Andre Moulton, the super sub coming through to get the equalizing goal. So I guess overall the fans won't be that disappointed. It's been Red Stripe Football Mondays from Jerusalem.
Red Stripe, Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watcha. Man, shall I be the forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. Them wish I never made it that the champion boy fan. Nah man I don't a songsters boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy.